abiding in you, the branches, he that abideth in me. And I know the theological principle is that those who stay in Christ will abide in him and bring forth much fruit. For without me you can't do nothing. And he says, if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. Interesting, when Jesus came into contact with a fig tree that did not bear fruit, he cursed it. Not only did he curse it, but he cursed it, told it it wouldn't do what it was designed to do. Do you know that it wasn't even the fig tree season to bear fruit when he cursed it? Y'all have mercy. Let me see if I can't say that another way. Let me see if I can't say that. In other words, sometimes it's going to be out of season, but you still got to be ready. Bible says, be ye also ready. You don't know the hour nor the day. You got to start getting out of the box and doing some out of the box things. And that's why God has called you into this community, to be different. Don't be scared to be in it. Embrace your uniqueness. Y'all messing with me. Y'all messing with me. Let me, y'all looking at me like I said. So here, right here. The implication here sets us up to know that we're going to be hated by the world. Tell somebody that Jesus was setting us up to bear much fruit, more fruit, 3 levels. Fruit, much fruit, more fruit, because he wanted us to be elevated by our haters. Gotta be, watch this. He sent your haters to elevate you. We keep trying to step on soldiers, and you can just step on your haters. Somebody gonna get that in a second. Somebody, I need to talk to my young folk, my young adults in the house. There's some folk hating on you. You know they're hating on you because you get your praise on a little differently. That's it. Maybe I'm preaching to myself that there's some folk hating on me because I do it a little differently. But that's all. Watch this. God keep laying your haters down to step you up, because haters elevate you. Bible says, I'll make your enemy your. That's what it says. So I'm laying them down there to take you somewhere higher. You ain't got to keep trying to jump up there by yourself. Just step on top of your haters. Watch this. And I'm going somewhere. I promise you I'm going. Watch this. He says, stay with me. Watch this. Even when you get a bad haircut, a bad hairdo, bad nails done, you go back to the same person who did it the bad way. And because one thing for sure is you got a relationship with them, and you're going to give them a second or a third or a fourth chance. Please, Pastor Brannon. Y'all looking like y'all don't like that in the illustration. So let me say it again. I don't know about nobody else, but I know some women in my church that if they got a bad hairdo or bad nails or pedicure, they will go right back. First of all, they wouldn't leave the shop, because the lady would say, stay here till I got it right. I'm gonna pay for it. You just stay. You don't have to pay for nothing. And God is telling us the same thing. He said, just stay here till you get it right. You ain't got to pay for it because I already paid for it. So you don't have anything. That's it. You ain't got to do nothing. Just stay here. I don't know who that's for. Because you keep trying to move around and go. Watch this. Don't you know if you got a bad hairdo, bad nails, bad haircut, and you went from the person who messed it up, you're going to go to somebody else who's going to try to fix it up, and they're going to mess it up worse than the person you just left? Say it had to be this way. Come on, we going. It had to be this way. It had to happen this way. And even though we don't expect much when we're abiding, because we're looking at the why, God is saying, stay here, stay right here, stay right here. If you stay right here, I'm going to lead you, I'm going to guide you. If you stay right here, you're going to birth. If you stay right here, I'm going to take you to your future. And then when you look down at this thing and it says, in the world will hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. Everybody in here has been hated on because of a friend or a loved one, something you didn't even do, and somebody dogged you out like you did it just because you were connected to the person who they were hating on in the first place. Am I lying? There's some folk, watch this. Some of y'all don't like some people right now because they're connected to somebody who you don't like. He trying to help me. You know, these lying up in here. You know, some of y'all can't be friends with somebody right now. You can, but you don't want to be because they mess with somebody who you thought you were going to mess with, and they connected to some. I'm going to be preaching right now. They mess with somebody. Watch this. They got somebody you thought you wanted, and so you frowned up and you got your hands on your. You know how y'all do. I'm just saying, some men don't like some men right now because of what was said, and the person who said it didn't even say it, but they thought they said it. And so they connected to somebody else who connected to somebody, and you keep that kind of mess going right there because you don't want, so you